Hello, everyone, and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Eric Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. And today, Donald Trump continues his fight against Harvard University. Meanwhile, Iran and the U.S. prepare for a second round of talks as Tehran inches closer to a nuclear weapon. We've got this and more just ahead, but first, a look at the latest headlines. California's Governor Gavin Newsom files a lawsuit challenging President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs that have disrupted global trade. Somali American forces conduct an airstrike in a region under attack by the Al-Shabaab Islamist group, killing at least 12 terrorists. France's interior minister suggests drug traffickers were mostly behind an unprecedented wave of gun and arson attacks against French prisons this week. Brazil becomes the latest country to deny hormone therapy to transgender minors, raising the legal age to receive the treatment from 16 to 18. And Venice resumes its $5 entrance fee and doubles it for the last-minute day trippers in hopes of combating over-tourism. President Donald Trump's crackdown on Harvard University has intensified as his administration threatens to ban the institution from enrolling foreign students. The move is part of a wider federal campaign targeting Ivy League universities, accusing them of fostering anti-Semitism linked to campus protests against Israel's military action in Gaza. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem recently warned Harvard that it could lose its ability to enroll international students if it fails to comply with demands for records on foreign visa holders' illegal and violent activities. Noem even set an April 30 deadline for the university to respond and confirm the cancellation of 2 federal grants worth $2.7 million.
If Harvard cannot verify it is in full compliance with its reporting requirements, the university will lose the privilege of enrolling foreign students. With a $53.2 billion endowment.
Now, being an Ivy League school, Harvard has a sizable international student population with over 27% of its enrollment coming from abroad. Its international population is largely dominated by students from nations like China, India, Canada, Germany, the United Kingdom, and Australia, with many of them getting admissions to courses through scholarships. According to the latest figures, Chinese students top the list with 1,900 enrollments, followed by Indians with more than 800 students across Harvard's undergraduate and graduate programs. Apart from India, Canada also accounts for nearly 800 students enrollments, with German students accounted for nearly 500. The United Kingdom sees over 430, with Australians accounting for nearly 170 enrollments. So as of the April 30 deadline, as it approaches, the future of Harvard's international students hangs in the balance. The Trump administration's next move could redefine the relationship between America's top universities and the global student community. But for now, the question remains, will Harvard bow down or risk losing its connection to the globe? And staying in the United States, immigrants are not just spectators of America's international intelligence boom, they're more of its masterminds. According to the new analysis, most of the top AI companies based in the United States have been founded or co-founded by immigrants. The report has been published by a Washington-based think tank, the Institute for Progress, which analyzed the latest Forbes AI 50 list. The analysis shows the United States currently boasts 42 startups developing promising AI applications, and 60% or 25 of these companies have at least one immigrant founder. Moreover, India is leading the list with 9 founders, followed by China with 8 and France with 3. Meanwhile, Australia, the United Kingdom, Israel, Romania, Canada, and Chile all have 2 founders each. Now, when it comes to leading AI firms such as OpenAI, many of these founders, including Elon Musk, were born in nations like South Africa. Similarly, founding members of the AI firm Anthropic and chipmaker NVIDIA include British and Taiwanese migrants, respectively.
Part of the historic story about US AI leadership and technological leadership in general is that we're able to draw on the best and brightest from around the world.
The analysis says that most of these immigrant founders came to the United States on student visas and stayed to build companies that now power AI tools across sectors. However, in recent days, questions have arisen about America's ability to recruit and retain highly skilled foreign workers as the Trump administration has created barriers specifically to immigration. Additionally, countries like the UK, Canada, and China are taking advantage of the situation and hiring top talent more aggressively.
If we're going toe-to-toe in a competition with China, they have a much bigger population than we do. They graduate far more STEM grads these days than we do.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order soon after taking office calling for an action plan to sustain and enhance America's global AI dominance. However, with his restrictive border policies, it remains to be seen how the president plans to retain foreign-born talent to strengthen his AI aspirations. And we now move to the Middle East, where the United Nations nuclear watchdog says Iran is not far from possessing a nuclear bomb. These remarks were made by Watchdog Chief Rafael Grossi in an interview shortly before he reached Tehran for talks on Wednesday.
It's like a puzzle. They have the pieces, and one day they could eventually put them together. There's still a way to go before they get there. But they're not far off. That has to be acknowledged.
The UN agency has been overseeing Iran's nuclear program and its compliance with the existing decade-old nuclear deal. The agreement was signed between Iran and 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council and Germany, together with the European Union back in 2015. Under the pact, Tehran was only allowed to possess 300 kilograms of uranium enriched to nearly 4%, which is sufficient for civilian and research purposes. However, the U.S. pulled out of the deal after 3 years, accusing Iran of not disclosing a past secret nuclear weapons program. While the Iranian government insists its nuclear program is for civilian purposes only, Western nations, including the United States, says Iran is trying to develop nuclear weapons. The UN nuclear watchdog says since America's withdrawal, Iran has about 275 kilograms of uranium that's been enriched to 60% purity. The number is extremely concerning, as nuclear weapons could be made from uranium once it's enriched to 90% purity. On Wednesday, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says uranium enrichment is non-negotiable for Iran, a week after holding high-level talks with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff in Oman.
In my opinion, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action Nuclear Agreement from 2015 in its current form and with its current text cannot be revived and is not advisable for us either, because our nuclear situation has now advanced so much that we cannot return to the conditions in the JCPOA. We have gone far beyond it. What is certain is that Iran's enrichment is a real, accepted, and factual matter, and we are prepared to build confidence regarding potential concerns. But the principle of enrichment is non-negotiable.
Meanwhile, President Trump insists Tehran must eliminate its enrichment program to reach a deal with Washington.
I want them to be a rich, great nation. The only thing is, one thing, simple. It's really simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon. And they got to go fast, because they're fairly close to having one. And they're not going to have one. And if we have to do something very harsh, we'll do it. And I'm not doing it for us, I'm doing it for the world. And these are radicalized people, and they cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, the Iranian foreign minister has landed in Moscow today to discuss the matter with Russia, saying it's ready to help resolve the standoff diplomatically. His visit comes days before the next round of talks between Iran and the United States is scheduled to be held in Italy on Saturday. Now, only time will tell if a Russian intervention would help Iran with the negotiations or increase the risk of escalating the conflict even further. A giant planet far beyond our solar system is offering the strongest hint yet of possible life beyond Earth. A new planet called the K2-18b, located 124 light years away in the Leo constellation, has shown signs of rare gases in its atmosphere, which is known to be present on Earth, produced only by living organisms. Detected by the James Webb Space Telescope, these findings have sparked cautious excitement among scientists. Now, while it's certainly too early to confirm life, the discovery marks an important step in the search for habitable worlds. Our next report has more detail.
Somewhere in the dark folds of space, a planet awaits. Its name is K2-18b, and it sits quietly in the Leo constellation, 124 light years from Earth. It's massive, nearly 9 times heavier than our world and 2.6 times as large. It circles a dim red dwarf, basking in the sweet spot we call the habitable zone. But recently, this distant planet did something extraordinary. It spoke, not in words, but in light and gas and mystery. And the universe is listening. When Canadian astronomers first spotted K2-18b in 2017, it was a nameless speck. No one expected it to change our understanding of life itself. But telescopes don't forget, and neither do scientists. In 2019, the Hubble telescope picked up hints of water vapor. It was a glimmer, but a promise. Later, other molecules, including nitrogen and methane, were found, and theories flooded in like rising tides. Could it be a planet wrapped in hydrogen, floating above endless alien seas? Or could life swim there, hidden beneath thick clouds? Nikku Madhusudan, an astrophysicist at Cambridge, believed so. In 2021, he named such planets Haitian worlds, which are a blend of hydrogen and ocean. Then came the James Webb Space Telescope, humanity's sharpest eye in the sky. It stared deep into K2-18b's atmosphere. As the planet crossed in front of its star, light bent, molecules danced, and secrets surfaced. Webb found methane and carbon dioxide. But it also found something else, something astonishing. Dimethyl sulfide, or DMS. On Earth, it's made only by living things, mostly oceanic plankton. It's the scent of the sea, it's the breath of algae. In short, it's life. Now, even though the signal was faint in 2023, it came back stronger this year alongside a cousin molecule, dimethyl disulfide, or DMDS. Both were detected in staggering amounts, thousands of times greater than here on Earth.
It is a shock to the system. We spent an enormous amount of time just trying to get rid of the signal.
But the signal wouldn't leave. Other scientists remained cautious. It's not nothing, said Stephen Schmidt of Johns Hopkins, but we can't call it habitable yet, he added. However, others argued that volcanic fury or lightning might forge such gases, and perhaps alien chemistry is writing rules we haven't yet read.
Life is one of the options, but it's one among many. We would have to strictly rule out all the other options before claiming life.
Still, the idea lingers. What if those oceans really are alive? NASA's future telescopes may find out. Or maybe, just maybe, something out there is watching us back.
And we end today's show with Elon Musk, who this time is making headlines not for rockets or tech, but for a growing web of secret children, private deals, and an alleged mission to repopulate the planet. A new investigation by an American newspaper claims Musk has been quietly fathering more children across the world, offering millions in hush money and managing it all with the help of a close inner circle. Here's a look at the billionaire's plan to build what he calls his legion.
In today's edition of What Did He Do Now?, we take a stroll through Elon Musk's latest feat. According to a delightfully unhinged expose by an American newspaper, Musk isn't just interested in cars and bad memes, but also repopulating the Earth before the apocalypse hits. His plan? Get women pregnant, and lots of them. Let's start with the very normal, not at all culty revelation that Musk refers to his children as his legion. Not his kids, not his family, his legion. One woman described his fathering antics as a full-blown harem drama. Conservative influencer Ashley St. Clair made headlines after revealing she had Musk's child. Musk's response? Not sure if the child is mine. Fast forward to last week. Paternity test results show a 99% match. But it doesn't end there. Musk reportedly suggested they speed things up with baby number 2. He allegedly texted, and I quote, To reach Legion level before the apocalypse, we will need to use surrogates. And when St. Clair tried to walk away from the Musk spire, he reportedly offered her $15 million and $100,000 monthly on the condition that she zips it. After she declined and went public, the deal vanished, and her childcare support dropped to $20,000 a month. Her legal fees amidst all this drama crossed $240,000. Musk allegedly told St. Clair not to give birth vaginally, asked her not to circumcise the baby. He reportedly once bragged about donating sperm at the request of Japanese officials. No romance, of course. Behind every great man is a great NDA manager. Meet Jared Burchell, Musk's right-hand man since 2016. He is also the man who allegedly told St. Clair to not get a lawyer. But St. Clair wasn't the only one. Crypto influencer Tiffany Fong found herself in Musk's orbit. He offered her the ultimate Musk proposition: no date, no dinner, just reproduction. When Tiffany Fong told her friends about it, Musk pulled a digital ghosting act, unfollowed her, watched her engagement plummet, and took her ex income down with it. Forget dating apps. Musk's love life is powered by algorithms and emotional landmines. The expose also revealed that apparently there's a secret Musk compound in Austin, where some of his baby mamas already live. Look at it as a VIP daycare crossed with a sci-fi commune. Neuralink executive Chiffon Zillis is reportedly already in, and Musk wanted to move in Canadian musician Grimes and St. Clair too. Unfortunately, not all the women were keen on joining his clan. In response to the American newspaper's 9,000-word expose, Musk took to X and wrote that an American entertainment-focused tabloid news organization is greater than this one. So while the rest of us are worrying about climate change and rent prices, Elon Musk is busy trying to outbreed the apocalypse, one influencer at a time.
That's Firstpost America for this Thursday, April 18th. I'm Eric Ham, signing off from our studios here in Washington, D.C. Thanks everyone so much for tuning in.